Hello, second grade readers and writers. We are working on responses to biographies this week. As we jump into our new module, let's take a look at our theme. Everyone has a story. And our big question is, how do experiences shape our lives? So that means, how do things that we go through shape our lives? So we are going to be looking at biographies of different people who have made an impact on the world around us. And a biography means a story or the true life story of people in history. Okay, so some of these people could be alive today, and some of them could be from long ago. So you get to choose the person that you are going to learn about. And I would like learning coaches to please help the students, your children, choose the person that they're going to be exploring and reading about and learning about and writing about. This could be something that you guys kind of work through together and talk about, learn about, and enjoy together as a family, and kind of use that as a whole learning experience. So there are links to an epic. There's a biography collection you can get to a couple of different ways. So if you go into epic, this may or may not direct you to that. If you're not logged into epic, I know I've already logged in today, so if you haven't, it may not take you exactly here. But if you go to your home page in epic, or even to explore, it's in social studies, and then over to biography. Or if you're in your home, I know there, if you scroll down to explore topics, there's a biography topic. Okay, so, or you can just even search biographies here. There are many different biographies. You can also use the Black History Month link that I had that is shared in the under the announcements page. If you are interested in exploring somebody from that genre as well, that also works for this. So you're going to pick one person, okay? And you're going to be reading a few books about that person, at least 2 books, okay? So your goal is 2 or more books about that person. And you're going to be turning in your work in Seesaw. So the Seesaw is linked here, not in your weekly learning plan, because I don't want you to get confused and just go to Seesaw and not know what you're supposed to be doing, okay? So you can go to Epic. You can also find really great resources in Tumble Books. Pebble Go has some great biographies. And in Pebble Go, there's another button up at the top that says Pebble Go Next. That's a little bit higher level that has some biographies in there as well. Sora, your library resource, has some biographies. And there's some maybe in Digital Reader, not a lot. But also your public library is a great place to go for biographies as well. So learning coaches, I'm counting on your support to help find just right reading levels and people for the biography selections for your students. Then you're going to go to the next slide. Okay, this is like a menu. So you're going to pick 2 of these to do. You can do more, but you should do at least 2. So you are choosing 2 books for the same person. So let's say I am really interested in reading about Serena Williams because she's an awesome tennis player, and I love tennis, and I love how she's made an impact on women's sports and made me want to play, and achieve my goals. And I want to read more about her and how she, achieved her goals and things like that. So I'm going to pick 2 books to read about Serena Williams. I'm going to choose 2 different things to do from this menu on 2 different books for Serena Williams, okay? So maybe I'm going to write a letter to Serena, and maybe I'm going to, from one book, and then I'm going to read another book about Serena Williams, and I'm going to do some facts that I learned from that book, okay? So 2 different things. So on here, there are video directions for each activity. So go watch the video directions first, and then you can pull up the actual PDF. So if you have a printer at home, feel free to print and do those. If you do not have a printer at home, just pull this up. You can use your writer's notebook and just use this as a guide for what it can look like. I am not picky about like it does not need to have like, this is just lines, right? You don't have to like have the same outline and things like that. You're just writing facts down. It's okay. I have the letter looks like this, just so you can see what like the format of a letter would look like. But in the video, it's important for you to watch that first. I kind of walk you through the pieces of what you should have in the letter. So that's why you should watch those videos first before you do the actual writing, okay? Once you go to upload those in Seesaw, and you can write them here in Seesaw too if you would prefer, okay? If you wanted to go in here and type out your letter in Seesaw, you are welcome to do that as well. Your Seesaw assignment looks like this, okay? So it has the slides in here as well. If you just need them again, you're just going to get directed to that same place, okay? So maybe you wanted to go here and you wanted to click that PDF, and maybe you're really good at, screenshotting something and going back into your Seesaw, and maybe you can do this and you can do your letter in here. Maybe you're like a really good computer whiz and know how to do that. You certainly don't have to, though. You could just type it up in here, okay? So you're going to do one response here, a second response here. If you want to do more, go for it. But you just need to have two on two different books about the same person, okay? So that is the goal. Let's go back to the directions again. So 2 or more books about the one person you're reading about for your biography. Okay, so that's what you're turning in here. Turn in as in Seesaw. This is all the same link to Seesaw. Upload your pictures or do it in Seesaw. Make sure the pictures are clear. I'm getting some very like blurry pictures from time to time. If you can't read it once it's in Seesaw, then I can't read it either, okay, friends? So make sure it's nice and clear. And then make sure you include like what your books are. I want to know who you read about. I want to know what books you read, where you got the books, what the titles are, the author, and all that stuff. So if you want to take a picture of your book or a screenshot of your book, or tell me that you went to Epic and you read this book in Epic, make sure you have the title and information there as well. All right, so real quick, we're reading about biographies and thinking about how everyone has a story and how experiences shape our lives. So these biographies are about people. How did their lives shape them, who they are? How did the choices they make shape their lives? And maybe some other people's lives around them too. Maybe they've shaped our lives today. So things to think about. So if you have any questions, let me know. We'll talk a little bit more about it in class. But have fun with this. Choose somebody you are interested in, and maybe you can have some bigger conversations about at home with your families. Happy reading, happy writing. Enjoy.